Welcome back to The Explainer. Today we're looking at something incredibly fascinating. We often think of children's stories and nursery rhymes as simple, innocent little tales meant to entertain or maybe teach some basic manners. But sometimes a short piece of children's media captures the exact essence of a massive societal issue. And that's exactly what we have today. We're pulling directly from a short kid's moral story published by Zuzu TV about a character named Chotu Muna. On the surface, sure, it's a straightforward rhyme about a boy who uses his phone way too much. But when you actually break down the text, line by line, wow. It serves as this powerful, structured mirror, reflecting our own modern struggles with screen time and digital addiction. So we're going to decode the story of Chotu Muna, mapping out exactly how digital obsession systematically dismantles basic human routines, starting from the absolute moment we wake up, all the way to the dinner table.
Okay, let's dive into this. The source text begins by establishing the baseline of Muna's addiction, right at dawn. The translation of the opening line reads, "Whenever Chotu Muna wakes up, he sits with a phone in his hand." Notice what it doesn't say. It doesn't say after he gets out of bed or after he has breakfast. The very first action, the immediate transition from the unconscious state of sleep to the conscious state of being awake, is mediated by a screen. The device is the literal gateway to his day. It highlights this reactive state of living, where the virtual world just absolutely demands attention before the physical world even has a chance to register.
Which brings us to a rather uncomfortable question. What is the very first thing you do when you open your eyes? We might look at Chotu Muna as just a character in a children's rhyme, but honestly, how many of us reach for the nightstand to silence an alarm and immediately begin scrolling through emails, messages, or social media feeds? Actually, scratch that. It's pretty much all of us, right? This kid's story is remarkably observant here. It points out that digital addiction doesn't just suddenly start in the middle of the day when we're bored. No, it starts by hijacking the most vulnerable, fresh moments of our morning. We're instantly tethered to the digital world before our feet even hit the floor.
Let's move to the hygiene disconnect and see how this builds.
So the source text explicitly points out the next casualty of this addiction, namu doi na brush kare, which translates to neither washes face nor brushes. Now, a normal morning routine involves basic biological self-care. Washing your face, brushing your teeth, these are grounding physical actions. But Muna's routine, it completely bypasses these steps. The virtual world immediately overwrites his real-world physical care. When your brain is receiving these highly stimulating dopamine hits from a screen, the mundane but necessary tasks of physical hygiene feel like a total interruption. The digital space makes the physical body feel secondary, almost like an afterthought.
And this behavior doesn't just stay confined to the morning. The text states he keeps using the phone all day. So morning, afternoon, and evening just blend into one continuous digital blur. It's like the screen creates this vacuum that consumes his entire perception of time. Think about it. Time in the real world is marked by actual events. Meals, chores, playing, the sun going down, but time in the digital world is infinite. It's unstructured. Muna isn't just wasting time, he is entirely removed from the natural rhythm of a day.
Which leads us to the next stage, the loss of play and emotion.
So the crucial point is captured in this rather poetic, really poignant phrase from the source, Prem ke nalagaya nishana, which directly translates to doesn't shoot the arrow of love. In the context of a child, this signifies a massive loss of presence, playfulness, and familial affection. Kids naturally engage in imaginative play, right? They seek attention, they give affection to their parents and siblings. But the phone pacifies that natural drive. The screen doesn't require emotional reciprocity, it just feeds content. Muna is no longer interacting with his environment or his family. His emotional output has been completely muted by the device.
The text actually explicitly links this lack of affection to his singular desire. Munna chahe bes phone chalana. Munna wants nothing but to use the phone. This is the textbook definition of an emotional disconnect. When a device fulfills every single psychological need for stimulation, the motivation to seek out complex, sometimes challenging, but deeply rewarding real-world relationships just plummets. He doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to show affection, because his brain is already perfectly, artificially satisfied by the glowing rectangle in his hands.
Now we reach the climax of the story, the dinner table divide.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is how it breaks down that breakdown of basic communication. His mother makes a simple, nurturing request. Mama Kathy Kalo, Kana, eat your food. This is step one. In any functioning household, a parent calling a child for a meal is an anchor point of the day. It's about sustenance, yes, but also about family connection. Step two is Muna's delay. The digital pull entirely overrides basic human hunger and the social contract of the family meal.
Step 3 is the culmination of this behavior. The screen has officially won out over biological necessity and familial bonds.
When we pull all these pieces from the brief source text together, we get this stark, structured breakdown of digital neglect. Look at these cascading consequences. It starts small, waking up with the phone. Then it escalates to skipping personal hygiene. Then it deepens into abandoning emotional connection. Finally, it results in rejecting family and fundamental sustenance. This incredibly brief kids' rhyme perfectly outlines the anatomy of addiction. It's a domino effect where the digital world slowly but surely conquers every tier of human necessity, from basic self-care all the way up to social belonging.
And that brings us to our final section, the moral of Muna.
And this brilliantly illustrates the ultimate symptom of screen addiction. The final line of the story is Munna's response to his mother, Muna bola badmeana. Muna says, come later. He's literally telling the real world to wait. He's placing the digital world above the physical one, prioritizing a temporary virtual dopamine loop over real nourishment and real relationships. Come later is basically the anthem of the distracted mind. It's the phrase we mentally use when we ignore our spouse, our friends, or our own hobbies because we just want to watch one more video or read one more post.
So I want to leave you with this final provocative thought. We might smile at the exaggeration of a cartoon character refusing to brush his teeth because of a smartphone. We might not be Chochomuna, but look at your own daily routines. Look at how you engage with your family during dinner. Look at what you do the exact moment you wake up. How often do we, as adults, say, come later to the real world? This simple fable holds an incredibly powerful mirror up to our modern lives. The next time you feel the urge to infinitely scroll instead of engaging with the life right in front of you, ask yourself, are you letting the real world pass you by? Thank you so much for joining me on this